Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2. Series number 2 is upon us as Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action. We said we're going to have a veto. Time got away from us. We are now on Mirage. Spoilers. Pretty much the same bans, barring some exchanges. NRG banning Vertigo in the final instead of at the outset. Makes sense. However, NRG, pressure's on. They lost the first map of 2 being played tonight. And they're now on the defense. They won the knife round, it appears. Should give them some advantage. Hex looking to right the ship after what was a disappointing map number 1 for himself. Starting things off right with a pair of dualies. Josie also shares. He has a pair and also a smoke on the belt. Still a kit for Walco, which means the light investment in Kevlar. Only 3 players with that piece of utility, that piece of equipment on this CT side.
NRG, a good pistol team. 50% so far this series. But Fang from the back line strikes onto Hex. That's a pair of dual Berettas down on the ground. And now Freshy's P2, 50 domes Walco. Fang rings another bell. And Automatic, hearing his time is nigh, is able to fight his way forward for 1. Needs 3 more. Gets the reload off. They know where he's coming from. Up top, it's Pone alone. The second P2, 50 to win the pistol round for Boston. The first T-sided pistol round converted this evening between these 2 teams. A big one to convert for Boss, particularly because it really squeezes the vice on NRG right now. It gets Boss out of the gate hot. They finished a bit rocky at the end there, back and forth, but this is a confidence builder. However, NRG going straight for the 4 spy. Deagles, MP9s, 5-7 for Breeze. And Boss need to be ready or they will get caught off guard yet again.
Yes, they do. Need to be weary. Never let your guards down. They're going for aggressive play towards middle. I can respect the call. They have to worry. Deagle towards stairs, Deagle towards jungle. The MP9s and ladder as well, playing their strengths, which is a very scary thing to think of. And OC, body shot down, no Kevlar to save him. He just barely got the crosshair out of the head of Fang. That's a big one to find. Ronala now getting chipped down slowly yet surely. The Eagles could spiral very quickly. Cryptic up in Walco. OC known to be in window. They need to be weary about ladders. We mentioned it's automatic to double down on trades. Bomb is dropped. AK recovered. Cryptic and Darty on the back foot. Darty makes his presence known in the apartments, trying to find the duel on 1. His teammate very far removed in towards CT. That could be a way back into it. Cryptic on this lurk. They're going to have to group up. They're going to have to play together coming up catwalk.
There's one for Cryptic. Still, of course, the bomb to be recovered. And he gets spotted by OC and taken down low. OC about 2 shots to the MAC-10, 1 shot to the Galil. Automatic with the AK. Going to be a tough guy to unseat. That smoke can help. Will it be enough? Do they even boost over the bricks to their spray coming through now? His time is starting to run a little bit lower. Bomb not yet recovered. Now it's going to be grabbed and booked over to B. But here comes the rotations through market. Molotov late. Automatic sticks around for the fight. And Cryptic punishes OC. He'll get the bomb to site now. Automatic 1 shot HP. Needs 2 crisp headshots. Arm spotted. And Darty removes him. Grabs the AK. And so Boss go up 2-0. A little bit of a scare, especially thanks to OC and that headshot to kick it off. Automatic's double and ladder dropping the bomb made it more so. But well done by Cryptic to really stabilize things. And then Darty just keeping his IGL alive. Protect the VIP.
All these teams don't panic. They get dealt what could be a critical blow to most teams. They slow things down. They think for a second, but they never stop. The wheels are always turning. They're always doing something. That flank from Cryptic turned into exactly what they needed. It evened up the player count. It compelled, I would say, Automatic to jump out of ladder. Boss have the trappings of a very seasoned team, yet a relatively inexperienced roster. Fang jumping up, taking point on that MAC-10. Needs to be careful of this crossfire. He's tagged from behind. Flash now, spamming out of desperation. It's Pone alone to get the kill. Fang falls in the chaos, and in fact, the pistol's collapsing in middle. Leave just Darty in his typical stomping grounds. That is the apartments alone, and with many to find. 1 versus 4. Advanced positions now for NRG as they throw that Molotov to buy time. It seems unwinnable for Darty at this stage. A minute left, an AK in hand. All of his adversaries are lit, but again, with those weapons recovered and the sheer man count against him, it feels like an uphill battle.
He just has to isolate the duels. It's just that simple, right? All he's got to do is take 1v1s the whole way around. Now, OC's flank is probably the hardest part to deal with. That's a good start, but the dink through the wall, that really makes his life hard, as he's also in one-shot territory, meaning Walco has the advantage. Now the flank from OC will strike! And so NRG, another eco round win against Boss. They had a critical one. It was a Breeze Ace in A main of Ancient that got them a very spicy victory. And now we should be on pace for a tie ball game unless Boss want to do the thing, which they don't. They're not going to force. They're just going to half buy, get a couple upgrades here. Darty will go for nothing. He's going to save an op for Pwn alone from the looks of things. And so Boss will go for Glocks and a Tech 9, a couple of flashbangs, train in through apartments, try and get a bomb plant out. If they can't, well, it's not too bad. They're going to go through the fire, the flames, and they'll carry on down the river Styx. Hex dispatches 3-2 with the HE. Fang and Cryptic will not be long for the world as they will be hunted by Breeze, who has a very belabored spray for that one. He'll grab the last two of the round. And so now we can actually get into the meat and potatoes of Mirage first half, as both teams will have guns up in here.
I know what Boss had planned. They finally have that op. You mentioned that's going to be an important piece. They're lacking a bit of utility, though. They're actually on 2 Galils to facilitate a little bit of extra utility. I can respect the call. I'm worried. As I mentioned, they've gone towards middle a lot. Those first 2 rounds where they had weapons, they had the advantage. Both rounds were played towards the middle, and both rounds were kind of touch and go. Change things up. They're going to go for some mid control, but they're not going to commit to it necessarily. Good nade in towards ramp. Walco finding one. Walco, a spray transfer. And Walco activating early is a very worrying prospect for Boss. We've seen him take over maps, take over series. If he gets activated now, might just tip NRG over into the driver's seat of this second map.
Oh, Nate, I've got more problems for Boss here. You ready for the half stats for these two teams?
Yes.
NRG, 44% CT, 59% T. Boss, 68.8% T side, 39 CT. Pwn can't even get that shot off. OC mops at the last 2. It's a flawless round for NRG. And I think with the weight of that expectation of the T side for Boss and the lack of a defense on this map historically, those 3 kills put quite a punctuation on that statement.
Yes, they do. Flawless one for NRG means their economy is already looking stellar, exemplary, as good as it could look. And Boss showing nothing for that rifle round. They've lost that lead that they built with a pistol. Half by now, ideally get a plant, but I know it's not really feasible in many cases. And then call a tactical pause. That's what you need right now. Things are falling flat. Call it before things spiral out of control. Automatic Hex, start things off right. Getting comfortable, getting aggressive, not respecting the T side, which is exactly what you don't want if you're in Boss's shoes right now. Fang last alive, a shadow of his former self in this map when compared to the last.
Everyone on Boss that applies to, though.
Portland's had an okay start. Cryptic as well. And again, Cryptic is very hit and miss. It's the entry. It's just how it is. It's nature.
True.
Yeah, I do agree. I think across the team, they are falling far more flat, with a lot less inspiration and individual pizzazz than we saw on Ancient.
That's a good way to put it. There's that timeout, Nate. And interesting that a team which you know several of these players on a personal level is kind of sharing the same philosophy that you have.
So they're going to find some
they lost a player too.
Oh.
They lost Cryptic.
They meant to call a tactical pause, evidently, so.
Yeah, he might just be restarting his game in the interim, which, you know, it could also be a mental thing. I mean, restart your game. Yeah, it's into a technical pause now. So attack into a tech, and now we're back.
Yeah.
So we should have a HUD reset, not this round, but next round to fix that. There are not 2 Darty Montanas. There's only 1.
You had to swap the gloves real quick. That's the play. Swap the gloves, swap the knife. It just wasn't the vibe.
I feel that, you know.
Don't know if you can do that mid. You can't do it mid Counter-Strike game, like matchmaking. You might be able to do it mid, like, you know, just play it on Face It. So mid Face It game, you might be able to.
I don't know, actually. I've never tried. Now, I have done the good old-fashioned quit in console, then restart, and just resets the mental. But, ooh, that's a nice fight by OC. He expected the boost over top. And he is really starting to heat up on the CT side. He's been good for NRG. It took him a bit to get his wheels going on CS2, but once he's found his footing, he has been fine for him. There's one from Fang, but only one. So still a disadvantage for Boss as we get into the later stages of this round. Walco on stairs, able to dispatch both as he kicks them down, tumbling. All left to Darty again in a 1vx, or I believe it's Cryptic actually, rather. And
it's Cryptic, yeah.
They're just going to be able to go knife him in the back? No.
No, this is him. This is him.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, so this is Cryptic. It's not...
As scuffed can be. That's how it is.
You know how the HUD is.
Yep. It's a fickle thing. HexT will put him to bed. NRG establishing their lead. We're coming back to cams for a brief moment to update that HUD as Boggs so astutely prophesied at the start of the round. Hello. Should be back any second, hopefully. We should have the continuation of this one. Boss likely on a half buy. They didn't get the bomb plant. In fact, they've been very far from a bomb plant. There's a lot of emphasis, and duly so, put on middle, but there's a point where you got to change things up, go for an outright play, a set play, and see what you can find.
See an A play.
I was going to say an A play or a B play. B with pistols specifically might be a good idea.
I don't want to push Breeze here. I don't like how well of an anchor he's been overall. His utility usage has been very good so far throughout this CT half as well. HexT has been good support. I feel like you have a better odds of just rushing through the smokes on A, picking up a gun, and then posting up.
It's fair. They've just doubled up on Catwalk as well, which is a perfect spot for them to play.
And just to clarify any potential confusion, it is 2 isolated best of ones between these 2 teams tonight. So Boss have 1 win in the column. NRG on pace to get 1 of their own as Automatic marooned at bench has support from HexT up on Catwalk. Breeze able to find frags as well. Cryptic. There's always one player of Boss right now in Mirage who is so far away from everybody else, it ends up being an inconsequential move. There's another flawless round for NRG. I believe that's their 3rd out of 6 wins is flawless. Look at that CT economy. Walco had max before buying utility here. OC's knocking on the door. It is as rich of a CT side as you will see in Counter-Strike right now.
Never a big fan of near back-to-back timeouts. This is a back-to-back timeout spot.
I agree. You cannot lose this next round of your boss. It's already gone too far.
They're throwing stuff at the wall and nothing's sticking.
They're going B again.
They just need to go a little bit faster, I think, is the play. Because they were slowing down quite a bit. They were read by NRG. At the very least, if you're going to go B, if you're going to insist on it, go a little bit quicker. 2 up mid, though. Including the bomb on Pernalon's back. Actually going to be just a mid-split. They're still focusing on this middle area, not on the site in particular. Again, I respect when teams keep their options open, but when things are getting as dire and as dour as they are for Boss, just go for a no-frills play. Just go for a site. Don't set your expectations too lofty or you'll get lost in the sun. HexT on Catwalk stands a very good chance of finding an opening. Pernalon, though, instead is the one to drop OC. The uppers duel finally won. Spray from HexT through the smoke finds one. Cryptic and Pernalon combining in response to that double up on Catwalk, finally taken down. And there's the decision made, something finally clicking for Boss as they get control of B. Automatic and Walco. In this situation, you'd normally save, but given how good the economy is, do you really want to? It seems like they might. Automatic going for that op. At this point, I would say 1 or 2 kills is worth the loss of 2 rifles, given how good the economy is.
Although that op now makes it a little bit more valuable. Because you know how fast that CT economy can erode as well.
That's fair.
And with the utility, which NRG has been having to use, I can get it. Walco going for the fight at the end. Cryptic died to the bomb?
That's unfortunate.
That's weird. Huh. The more you know.
Interesting. Unfortunate. Hamstrings, but is already a team very much on the back foot. NRG guaranteed at least a tie in the second half. Boss, though, potentially finding their footing. Better late than never. 4 AKs and op. Good utility. NRG. Expect nothing less. Good rifles and that op. Spam from automatic, not good. And there we go. We finally see a play out, eh? They get control. They haven't gotten the bomb down. But at least they haven't been hamstrung at the choke points. Or have they? Automatic and OC finding some around the smokes. Chaos is ensuing, and players are walking through. Darty up close. Does finally find a trade. All 4 are in CT spawn for NRG. A lot of eggs in this one basket, but the plant has not been stuck. And Boss are still worrying about those many other choke points.
I think they've read it, though. All 3 players grouping up to go away from CT spawn, away from ticket. They're gaining control of jungle.
Spawn. It takes them through unless they jump out.
There's no way you go. There's no way you go through murder hole, though. Oh, they're gonna go cat.
Oh,
they've been heard.
Skill check. They've been heard.
Or have they?
No.
No, they haven't.
So it's on the edge. We don't have that circle like we do when playing matchmaking. So helpful for the precise.
It is very nice.
They will get a free bomb site, and they will get the plant default. Pwn alone, when does he leave?
Probably 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nope, he's sticking in 1.
He's going to fight this. I kind of like it. Yeah, now he bails. But that evens it out at 3 apiece. That's a big pick.
Even 3, next to no utility, but flashes for NRG. And bomb's like almost a third left at this stage. NRG might have waited too long to spring this. OC finds Fang. They need to go fast. They need to go now. Someone needs to get on the bomb in the next couple seconds. Automatic swings for 1. He's got to get on it. He's on it. Pwn alone. Can he stop the defuse is the question. He's too low. He just swings into the pistol of OC, and that seals his fate. It's unfortunate. A little bit more HP, and he might have been able to get a shot off. That's not the reality in which we live. 7-3 NRG. Guaranteed advantage going into that second half. Boss. Their round went isolated yet again, but they do have some coin in the coffer with which to play. They'll stick that final quarter in the machine in hopes of setting the record. Opt for Pwn alone. AKs as well. It's a decent buy. Better than I would have anticipated.
Bomb plants.
True. NRG's economy, though, and again, their CT side has just looked so good.
It has. It's looked incredibly strong. Although I will say, I've been uninspired by Boss's T side on the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
Their strategy has looked very flat. There's no depth to it. There's no peaks and valleys. It's just a flat line.
It's not.
And it's been very easily read and countered.
We always talk about this map being a figured out map. And so, you know, you can kind of just take other team strategies, but normally you build off them. Normally use them as inspiration. Right now it just feels like imitation. It feels like Boss not playing their play. It feels like they're following protocols, etc., that they're not comfortable with, or that they didn't make, not necessarily not made themselves, but that they aren't comfortable in. It's not.
I mean, it could be they haven't actually practiced this map with Fang and Pwn alone. That's a
Also
very
true.
Reasonable assumption. But at
This
the
is
same
one map,
time,
again, it's the figured out map, so
it might actually be better for them to pug it at this point.
I'm going to say that. It might be a map that they just thought, oh, we'll pug.
But they're not really following the pug. They're just... You can't even say they're defaulting. They're just
Cryptic.
That's an awkward play for Cryptic. That's
Traded, but it's funny.
It is funny. Not in a good way funny.
Yeah, concerning. A lot of errors coming to the surface. Retake, though, on deck 2 versus 2. AKs versus M4 and Op. OC is low, which gives Boss a slight advantage. But there are flashbangs that make this something that could work for NRG. OC, taking point. It's a good plant for these two. One's a Tetris, one's a Sandwich. They can swing off contact. OC spotted, trying to fight it, but it's Freshie and Pone alone. Both finding one on top stairs, one crossing bench. Very well played from them to secure a fourth, but again, no easy rounds for this boss side. It was expensive. They're going to have to reinvest fully. Last round of the half, and again, NRG built up that bank. They can still rely on it with ease in the final round of this first half.
They still have residual cash to spare, too. If this was MR15, they'd still have money. NRG looking good still. Very narrow victory for Boss. Came down to the wire. And some pretty interesting back and forth duels that were able to get traded and won by them. OC peeking down underpass. Is forced away through the fire. Does not actually take that much damage, though, luckily for him. Only down to 75. Only 1 quarter removed. HexT still on catwalk, however. Looking for something as Automatic and OC will swap spots towards Nest. HexT into ladder. You have the crossfire for the CTs. 4 players bottom mid again. That's a chunky nade. Dodge for the most part, but it should have been heard. The runaway. HexT up in ladder. Flash won't really blind him. And so Cryptic, the entry, down for the count. An automatic timing. Pone alone. HexT up in ladder again. Oh, the smoke got bugged on the scaffolding. So HexT is down low. Automatic down for the count. And now Darty with a nade finishes off HexT. This is winnable. No, not anymore. As Freshie goes nuclear. Blind OC can't connect to the shop. They know where Freshie is now on A. Takes 1 tap. Return fire from Breeze does the job. And we'll see you for half number 2 in just a second.
An uninspired T side for Boss puts them on the back foot. 4-8 as we enter the second half. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action. And Boss, as I mentioned, the back foot, the defense, and a double up towards CT spawn to rebuke an A-take. It's going to be a split. One late middle to hold for rotations, one underpass to divide the attention of the site proper, and then 3 at the ramp proper. Freshy. Work cut out for him. He's going to smoke forward in the middle of sight. HexT taking jungle. It's been completely abandoned. No one's ever here. OC on catwalk as well. So in Chaos, as I mentioned, pulling off rotations. He's the one to catch Ponalon, and Freshy's being tagged down now in the smoke as well. Kit on his belt. No Kevlar to back him up. A lot to do as he's cleared on site. No clean shot found, and Breeze picks him away with ease. OC's fallen in the interim, but advantage still remains. NRG 4 versus 3 going into the post plant.
And with the bomb down too, no kit picked up yet for Boss. 4 players alive for the T's to hold around. It's going to be a nigh impossible retake unless Boss gets headshots and fast. Darty and Cryptic coming in through CT. Fang going up Con. Runs into HexT, and HexT dispatches him. Automatic and Walco holding down the site proper. NRG the pistol round. And Nate, we were talking in that green room. Boss needed to get towards 7 off the pistol. They fail the first hurdle. And either they force now, or they go down 6 and have to battle it back with basically no runway.
An unenviable spot for Boss to find themselves in. Difficult decision ahead of them. It's going to be the save. I can respect the call. Still hurts to see, though. NRG, no. They have to keep the gas on. And they go for full rifles. They just bite the bullet. I respect this call. Very good read. Speaks to their eagerness to close this one out as well. 4 Galils. AK for Breeze. A little bit of utility. Not a full belt for everybody, but still more than enough. They're going to rest on their laurels. They want to figure out what Boss are going for. Is it the Force Buy? Is it the Desperate Gambit? Or is it a save stack? And if it's the case, where is the stack located? I want to avoid that at all costs.
They're probing. Have not discovered one way or another where that stack may lie, if it exists at all. Molotov still yielding no information. However, it does isolate Freshy and Ladder. The flash in. Freshy not cleared out initially by Walco. Now here comes the refrag attempt. He's got backup automatic. And the end game leader for NRG grabs a 3-piece against the Eco. Nice and easy there. Good team play between him and Tim, leaving Fang the last one standing over on B to basically just wait out the rest of the round or his inevitable demise, whichever comes first.
There's a hunt. Walco dinked. Humbled. But he won't stick around. Keep all 5 rifles up. That's the name of the game. That's the only damage done, in fact, in this round. Walco. Automatic does him in. And the rifle buy works out. Clean and flawless makes a very scary, ravenous bonus for NRG. 10-4. Boss. Might even be worth. He's in a second time out here. Lots of riding on a round like this. No, actually, there's a kit for Darty. Utility, though, leaves me wanting. Boss, how do they stop the NRG steamroll?
Well, they gotta win fights, first and foremost. You cannot have all 5 players under 10 kills in round 15. You're not gonna win like that. That's, at the end of the day, you're not gonna win if you can't get kills. Freshy there, he does get the first, Ponalon now another. The flash expires and he'll drop 2. OC tries to go and finally gets the trade, but that's 3 for 1 for Boss as they lock down the A site. They're winning the fights right now. They don't really have much utility for a retake. NRG stuck towards Con, not willing to risk the plant yet, especially as OC has possession of the bomb and he's stuck in top Con. If he drops off, he makes noise. Gap for Breeze. Timing, though, goes against him. He's backstabbed and removed. Do they expect OC here in Con, though? Surely no chance. He slips on through. Actually, they did expect him towards Con, but he's eluded the Molotov. Fang out middle. creeping around, timing again, availing Boss as they get a round of breaks, timings, and some good kills from Poen alone on the rifle at stairs. A critical gun round, one they could not afford to lose, but so much more needs to be done by Boss to really facilitate a comeback.
Found the first, as you mentioned, by the good graces of timing. So need a heck of a lot more. I wouldn't even say the groundwork is laying yet for a retake. Second round needs to make me believe in that. They can get a 6th. They should get a 7th off the back. And then we can say a comeback is possible. But that's a big if. Boss again. Far less fluent on Mirage. NRG. Bombs migrating. Looks to be towards A perhaps, but how will they go for it? It looks like a split. 2 in Palace. 1 in Con and 2 top middle. Players all over the map, and Walco taking point. Doing his best cryptic impression. Starts things off right onto the very same. Opener cleanly secured. OC through the smoke finds a second onto Freshie. Punishing that player. Breeze now lurking out in Palace. Has a perfect timing. It goes the other way this time around. Not for Boss, but against them. Fang, Window trying to be a hero like he was in that number 1. That's not going to be the case. Caught going through Rat Hole. Scurrying away. Last alive is Darty. 1v5 again. I believe it was Fang in this position last time when they had pistols. And it's a collapse of the defense. Their round one isolated, their economy punished. And then 11th for the NRG offensive.
An 11th, 2 away from taking the second best of one of the evening against Boss. And Nate, we're looking pretty darn smart right now. We said it was probably likely they would split maps pretty 50-50. It's almost secured that that is the case, and Darty's only able to get 1 as he is hunted into oblivion. It's a good call by NRG to punish. Do not allow any saves. Look at the money for Boss as well. Absolutely abysmal on 3. They could go all in, or they can save and try and fight back from the brink of annihilation. They're going to go in now. All the cards are on the table. There's no ace left in the hold. What can Boss do with minimal utility? 1 defuse kit, 2 A1Ss, an MP9, a FAMAS, and a Scout. It's almost pitiful what they have to fight against the monstrous might of NRG.
Backs against the wall, I would say at this stage. They know it. They go for the force buy. Feels like Boss might even be like resigned at this point. They haven't called a pause. They have the makings of a round if they play it right. The stars align. Double up and ramp is an interesting call. I like this. It's a little bit desperate given the situation, but I like it. Cryptic towards Ninja. Good for 1 and done. Breeze still weary of that ramp. Play. Get down. HexT to support. So they know. They have a distinct read that there's someone close ramp. The MP9 of Fang, though, does connect. OC in the meanwhile drops Darty. 3 versus 3 secured. You'd expect Freshies to double up. Poen alone across the map towards B. Takes 1 at range with the Scout. That's OC. Traded. This chaotic and all over the place round might just end with Boss staying alive. 2 versus 2. Walco's low. And they do know. Freshies at ramp. He has to be. That won't stop him, though. He finds 1. Traded. HexT, a monster in this map. A 1v1. Poen alone slinking up Con. He was known to be towards B. He has an AK now, and timing is just not in his favor. Oh, but the shots aren't either for Poen alone. Flash over. HexT wants the duel. Finds it as well. He's feeling himself. 18 kills in map point for NRG.
Map match point, as it is a best of 1, an isolated best of 1 from the first of the night. And NRG back in action here. Lots of slipping and sliding on Ancient, but Mirage has seemed to be a revitalization chamber for them, a Lazarus pit almost. And NRG 1 round away from going 1-1 on the night, moving up the leaderboards again. Boss will keep their pace at a .500 win rate. But I think for Boss, they would have liked something more and maybe stay away from Mirage or put some time into it, because this has not been their map. Everything looks off for them here. The comfort factor is not there. The reads, the protocols, everything just seems to be lacking for Boss in this map. CT side, T side does not matter. And against competition of the caliber of NRG, this map is not viable. HexT, that's a nice one on to Darty. Ponalone is able to trade with the Scout, but he'll try and push forward for an upgrade. The Scout far from what they would like. MP9's FAMAS is left. Ponalone peeking. May spot Breeze walking through, but he does. He gets the tag on him as well. Won't be able to collect the rifle. But he'll back away with that tag. Retreat through the fire. Bide his time is up the catwalk. They run. The MP9's on Cat. Need to sing. Freshy's good for 2. He makes it a 3-piece. And Boss are not done yet. Breeze will fall eventually. Maybe not. Because that's a pretty big one to find Fang. He does not have a lot of health, but this is still technically winnable for him.
He's low, but his fixation on the bomb could do Boss in. I say that as Ponalone pulls the trigger. Gets the kill and a 6th. Boss staying alive by the thinnest of margins, but again, nothing to inspire. Nothing that says this round will be built upon. It was built upon the Scout of Ponalone pushing in apartments, getting one, tagging a second, and then bagging the second. It was not built upon some superior read, some tactical pause, and some sudden revelation. It was built upon an individual blink and prowess.
Flash in the pan, perhaps. Boss trying to make this one entertaining. 7 in a row required for OT. HexT flushed back. Is NRG taking it slow? Fang should have spotted the one underpass, but he'll back off a little bit, throw a flash, and keep hanging out in middle. Very slow round from the T's. I think they're waiting for pushes. Boss might actually be inclined to give it to him. I hope not for the sake of the CT side, but they're getting antsy.
They're moving around, making mid-round reads, but they're not overexerting. And that's what I like. Staying fluid, but not just pressing mindlessly for info. It's going to be an A play. 4 bottom con, 1 ramp, OC. Might just chime in from the sidelines after first contact's taken. Freshy under foul. He's a monster in this spot. He's found 1. He's found 2. Looking for the 30. Gets the tag. Not quite the kill. This is where they all swing together. Ponalone finds 1 Fang. A second Ponalone. Another to his tally. That's a succinct round. Sealed up for Boss. It was a save for NRG. Nothing much invested. They go back to the AKs. This is where Boss get tested yet again.
The buys coming back in. Darty on an MP9. Walco on a Galil. Kits on 4. Utility is strong for the CT side. Not as abundant for NRG. I think a bomb plant would go a long way, but they can also just seal the deal with a win here and now. NRG just need 1 more. Sometimes that final round is the hardest to grab. Then they bust to A. Freshy doubles up from Khan, however. He's picking up his individual prowess right now. Ponalone, however, has his bell rung by Breeze, running over triple and jumping in towards Ticket Booth. Bomb goes down default. Freshy, Cryptic, and Darty. All through CT, automatic in the meantime, out in middle. So if the kills come fast enough for Boss, they can get the defuse without any interference from automatic. OC, Breeze, the 2 lone defenders here. Molotov towards that position, but OC sprays 2! It's up to Freshy to ace this one out. He'll drop utility. He'll toss more. He's trying to cross in front of 2, and he won't get by 1. Breeze finishes him off, and NRG will split best of 1s with Boss here tonight. A 13-8 for Boss on Ancient, and 13-7 for NRG on Mirage. And as we predicted, Nate, pretty 50-50 between these two teams.
Yeah, it was. Now, I will say, in terms of these two best of ones, I think the team that can come out knowing they have a lot more to learn is Boss. I think the first map was scrappy. NRG still looked okay, all things considered. It went back and forth, but in the end, it ended the way of Boss.